All right, bro. Let's get ready. Let's clap these cakes on this bad Asian. Wait, what I say? Hey, all right. So, bro, I've been doing some introspection here. I've been really thinking hard about something I posted recently, and I have to be sincere when I say this or make this statement here because what is tofu, man? Tofu is gross, bro. Like man, it's like meat, but it's not meat, right? Am I confusing that with something else? Man, whoever invented tofu, you going to hell, man. All right, so the next character after Charlie, I think was in the previous video I did. Charlie, I think I did his idle animations. So I'm just gonna jump forward here and I'm gonna do his crouch animations, man. God, I can't wait for Tyson to mangle Jake Paul. Or is it Logan Paul? I think Logan Paul is a bigger brother. I can't wait for Jake Paul to get like his head knocked off. I don't think that dude realized he just made a mistake. Like men and women are different, right? So like a male, the average dude, we get slower as we get older, right? Because your stamina goes. That's just part of like being a child. You have like infinite stamina when you're little, but your strength increases. The average male gets stronger with the years, which means you get retard. Well, it's not a proper. It's not a PC word for me to use. You get special education strength when you get into your later years in life. You become just like ridiculously strong. But the only thing that holds you back from like brutally murdering somebody with your bare hands when you're an older man is, well, your wisdom and maturity. So I don't think Logan Paul, or is it Jake? I think it's Jake. I don't think Jake Paul understands that challenging Mike Tyson to a fight is like it's suicide. But I'm fascinated, man. I'm fascinated. I want to see how this goes. I'm so freaking curious, man. And I bet you, because they're fighters. Speaking as a fighter, you watch the highlights of a person you fight. I'm not gonna digress too hard here. I gotta work on this crouch animation. It looks like for MVC2, the default version of Charlie, his crouch animation specifically, it looks like it only has one frame. It says 1/1, then one ticks. Ticks actually indicates the time. It's like frames. Think of it as seconds. It's not really seconds. It's frames. It's working on a 60 FPS, and then one is literally how many frames there are in the animation itself. So basically, how many sprites you will see in order. It looks like just one, so that I'm gonna have to animate this. So I'm gonna try to bring this to life. But I'm gonna digress back to my digress. Jake Paul's gonna die, bro. Like I don't know how else to word it. And I don't want the guy to die. I'm a Bible thumper. I'm a holy roller. I don't want nobody to die. But I just, I see him getting brutally beaten to death. That's if he doesn't get knocked out from the first punch, which is very likely. People who don't know Mike Tyson, specifically young people out there. I know it's a lot of kids who probably watch this video. Mike Tyson's an old boxer, but when he boxed, he was the strongest boxer to ever breathe air. The guy was a pit bull. Like the guy, he could punch somebody who's twice as big as him and make them go to sleep. That's how strong Mike Tyson was. He was really scary. And even now, Mike Tyson as an old man, I think Mike Tyson's almost 60 years old. He is still scary. So that should tell you enough about like type of dude he is. But I'm digressing here. So for this dude's movement, um, I don't know how to animate this. Well, I know how to animate it, but I don't know what I want to do animation wise. Let's first of all let's play around with the properties of the frame. I'm gonna go to image. I'm gonna click properties. I'm going to increase the height by about 6, and then I'm going to increase the width. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So about 8, about 8. Okay, that should be fine for now. I'm going to do a quick shift here. I'm going to try to make his crouch match with his idle or his stance animation. And I have a pretty good or distinct memory of how this character looks when he's in his said standing animation. So I'm just gonna go forward here. Think I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do. So he's gonna, instead of breathing forward, He's gonna shift back and up, and just his torso. I'm gonna move his torso back and up to show a motion, not a breathing motion so much, but just a to indicate movement of his upper torso. And I'm gonna try to do it in a manner. Well, I am going to do it in a manner. I got a cough, but I'm going to do it in a manner where it mimics the way he looks in his idle animation. So I would say fingers crossed, but I have confidence in myself here. I believe I can pull this off swimmingly. So let's get this done. Ooh, I just clipped his finger there. I want his kneecap to stay put, but I also don't want to do too much, have to go back and do too much work in regards to the shifting of the fist. So I'm going to ignore all of this. None of this is going to move. Okay, so I have the torso shifting, and keep in mind I'm on the top layer. I'm just deleting on the top layer all the things that I don't want to move at all, which is really just his lower body. And now I'm going to jump to the bottom layer, and on the bottom layer, I'm going to clear out all the artifacting or background pixels that will float from the pre-existing frame. I have to keep in mind I'm shifting and backing up, which is vitally important here. I made a mistake. I control Z the mistake. I forget a lot to lift up on the mouse when I'm using the eraser from time to time, so that when I control Z, it doesn't delete too much. And I just that this was an instant of that. Saves me time to lift the mouse every once in a while. So there's my shift up. I'm gonna drop the layer really quickly just to see what it looks like. Okay, I think this will yeah, I think this will suffice. This will suffice, man. Save it, close it, uh do a duplicate. The duplicate I'm gonna name triple two for the index. I'm gonna back out for triple one. Triple one's really gonna be the no, not even just triple one. Anything close to the default or the base sprite that I'm animating, it's always gonna be it's gonna have the most movement. So triple one is the one I need to edit here. I'm gonna open up triple one and he's going to keep shifting. So instead of just that tiny portion of him that I took earlier, I'm going to shift. Actually, I need to take his whole. I need to take all this, the whole shebang. So I'm gonna take all this, copy, paste, do my shift up stick. Notice I went slightly lower on the thigh to there's a portion of the thigh I want to shift up, so I have to do this. And I want his crotch to stay in place, but I also want here's the trick here. I want his leg to be animated. Specifically his left, your right, that front leg, specifically the knee part. I want that knee part to shift up too somewhat. So I'm gonna have to kind of be smart here. Big art brain. You really, if you have no artistic skill, I don't recommend editing anything in Fighter Factory, Mugen wise, because you'll find yourself in trouble. Control Z. I made a mistake there. I know this. I want the top of the thigh. I don't want his crotch to move, but I do want the top of his leg to go. I want all of this above his knee to shift. So I'm just gonna trim it on the side here. And I think on the bottom layer, I just have to remember to trim the right side properly. And I think that'll be good. Everything else is shifting. So remember on the bottom layer, do a quick shift here so that it looks like the pads are moving. Get rid of all the artifacting back here behind the character too. Got that whole bottom layer stick. Uh, I'm pretty sure everything is shifting up, so there shouldn't be. Uh-oh. Okay. So it shifts up according to this. It shifts up right here, which means I could just leave this alone. But I am gonna trim that right there, which is actually that's his pocket. That's the protrusion. Art brain, but that's the protrusion of his cargo pocket. This is really the flap, the upper flap on his cargo pocket. It's not an anomaly. My for some reason my brain thought that was an anomaly that I was looking at. I think that's it. I'm gonna drop the layer and put it back on really quickly. I get it. You probably don't understand what you're looking at, but I know what I'm doing here. So just trust me, and then just look forward to the end product. Okay, save that out, close it out. So that's shift two. So triple one is the second shift. This was my first shift. Boom, boom. I'm thinking one more. One more wouldn't hurt. All right, I'm gonna duplicate triple one. I'm gonna jump over. I think I duplicated triple. Yeah, I duplicated triple one. All right, I'm gonna jump over one. I'm gonna name this triple two, and then that the old triple two, I'm gonna name triple three. I'm gonna jump back to the new triple one I just made, which is a duplicate of the now triple two. I'm gonna open this up. What else could I do here? Do I want to do just a head shift? I think so. I think I want to do a head shift. So I'm just gonna shift his head. Do a quick copy paste. Let it continue that motion that his body was going originally. Go to the bottom layer, get rid of the artifacting behind his hair and his head, like so. Gotta be very careful here. This is dangerous. I'm on the bottom layer. Don't want to keep the bottom or the top. First off, since the only thing I'm shifting here is really his head, I'm gonna shrink this eraser down and I'm gonna trim around his head so that I'm not picking up any excess of, i.e., his his jacket and stuff. Excuse me. I'm gonna go out 1 pixel. That way I'm not picking up too much of his old face on the bottom layer, and it'll save me some headache in the future here. I just noticed that chin too. I clipped his chin by mistake. Okay, and this will actually pay off. It'll really pay off when I get to editing the top layer here. It'll make sense. I just gotta keep in mind that chin that I edited just now. Get this shoulder off of here. None of this should be here. I knew something was fishy there. Okay. Oops, I made a mistake there. It'd be alright. Still on the top layer. I'm gonna drop down to the bottom layer. I'm gonna take this background color and jump back up to the top layer, put it on 1 pixel for the pencil, and just trace over it. Kind of get rid of that chin duplication that's going on here. I take it this is supposed to be the bottom of the chin right here, like that. I think. Yeah, because technically his chin is hidden behind his fist, so there's really no way of knowing. So that's fine. It'll populate. It'll fill in properly when I get to it. So, all right, I can respect that. Go back to the bottom layer. This looks like excess. So I'm gonna try to delete these 2 pixels right here. Oh, I was on the pencil. My fault. Went back to the eraser. It's on the 2 point for the eraser too. Okay, that's better. All right. So I just traced the top layer. I traced the head. Now I'm on the bottom layer. What I'm gonna do on the bottom layer is just get rid of the artifacting behind the head if there's any. I know I already did this once. Yeah, I don't see anything artifacting wise. And that's all I wanted to shift was his head. I could shift his legs some more. Let's I'm gonna save it, close it. Uh let's skim through and see what they look like. Okay? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's a good shift. I like that. One, two, three. I like that. That's a good, to me that looks good. Uh what other movement could I do here? Maybe shift his hand out. I'm thinking his hand, man. Hey, I'm gonna shift. I want this forearm. This has to go out, man. I think this would be a nice effect. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna copy paste and shift. I'm actually gonna shift this back down. Go to this back layer, trim this back layer, get rid of the artifacting behind the top layer. Alright, once that's gone, I'm gonna save it, close it, reopen it, grab that hand. Trust me, this seems crazy, but I think I know what I'm doing here. Actually, I can move the other one down twice. Shift 1, Shift 2, Shift 3. Better idea. So that should still have the arm. Yeah, that at least has the arm shift there, as you see there, which is triple one. So for triple two, I can shift triple two down twice. So I'm gonna grab the same forearm again for the second time, and I'm going to, if it lets me, I keep forgetting from top to bottom. You have to shift. I'm gonna copy paste. I'm gonna shift that forearm down again. This is the second time. This is on a different frame. Clear out the artifacting. Very important. Okay, artifacting gone. I'm gonna save, close, reopen. I'm gonna do another shift, but for this shift, I'm gonna grab his upper forearm here. Shift that down like that. Gotta be very careful here when tracing. Here comes that art brain. I'm just gonna trim the wrist like this. I didn't mean to do that. That's alright. It didn't hurt anything. Like that. Yeah, and I think that's fine. I don't think that's fine. Okay, I think this should go over more. Let's do this. I think it should be like this. That just feels better to look at. Really, it's one way to find out. Uh, Let me get rid of this too. Okay, I don't think that'll hurt anything. Save it out, close it out, do a quick test here. Okay, okay. So this is frame one, which is all the way up. Frame two, and then frame three. Did I make a mistake here? I definitely want his hand to shift out, shift down, and I think for frame three, I'm just gonna do pretty much the same thing. I have an idea. Let me back out. Gotta work smart, not hard. So I'm gonna copy this. Just copy the arm portion. And hopefully this will be it'll suffice. I'm gonna paste. Eh, eh. Blow the eraser up. I'm gonna delete just specifically the knee. Get this knee out of here. Like this. I did notice that stray pixel I just created. Not too concerned with that. Right now the concern is just really taking a shortcut and getting this arm in here fully. Okay, so that's the arm mimicked. Go in the bottom layer, get rid of the background pixels there, i.e. the artifacting. Okay, I'm gonna wait, let me do a quick test. Just checking for stray pixels there. Save, close, reopen. Now I can work on this. And what I'm gonna do for this is just take the fist, because that's all I need. And the fist is just gonna go down. Go on the back layer, get rid of the artifacting for the fist. Okay, and that should be it. I just want to go down a little bit. Barely noticeable, but it's noticeable. All right, and if that worked out, oh yeah, that stray pixel I created right there with the copying process, I might want to fix that like now. Okay, boom. And something else I noticed, he needs a blink animation too, which I'll program in here in a second. Okay, and that's it. That's his crouching movement, which I love, by the way. Boom, boom. Hmm. Let me grab this fist and slide this fist over. Really, it's his forearm. I'm just saying fist to just as a shortcut. And I'm gonna slide this up slightly like that. I think that looks masterful. Trim the top of this forearm here. I'm gonna use the big eraser too, just so I don't have to clean any artifacting in a second here. Specifically above his fist. Saves me a little bit of time and effort. All about saving time. A lot of work I have to do here. It's a big project. Trim the bottom of that arm there. I have to be very careful here not to get too close to the arm because it'll pick up the bottom layer fist and it'll look janky. Okay, trim in front of the fist like this. Okay, and looks like we're good. Looks like I'm in the clear. Don't worry, any stray pixels, artifacting issues that I might have with the animation overall, I'm not too worried about because I can tweak it. Let's keep some of the forearm here, just down to the wristband really. Okay, I think I trimmed too much. Whoops. Just down. Dang, how far did I slide his forearm? According to this, it went up two. Nah, man, I'm tripping. I do want his forearm to be in here, but I don't want a lot of it. Did I slide it up twice? I want it kind of like this. Let me drop the layer. Yeah, I just wanted, see, I just want his forearm to slightly move up. I think that looks good. A little bit of slip and slide in there, but I think I can work with this. If you're not familiar with what I'm doing here, I'm actually scanning for stray pixels here. It's really easy to make a mistake here. And one stray pixel will completely ruin the way the animation looks, by the way. You could really destroy your progress by making stupid mistakes. So I tend to stray from making stupid mistakes in life. All right, I'd save this out. It's fine. Save, close. All right, see what it looks like. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Yeah, that looks good to me. I love it. Yeah, I freaking love this. Is that doubling up? Yeah, his forearm is doubling up. I don't like that. Let me think. Low key, it looks like he's flexing, but that's not how the musculature works. You wouldn't, especially in your forearm, the muscles in your forearms wouldn't tense up at that rate. It's a little too fast. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trace this. I'm just gonna carry down the shadowing to an extent, but I'm also gonna attempt to create an angle for it too, which you'll understand after a second here. So I'm just gonna do this quick trim here and just slightly angle it up like so. Okay, that should be it. Okay, save that out, close it, and voila, much better. That I can work with. Now what? What did I say? Blink animation. Blink animation is always gonna sit on the original frame or frame zero. So I'm just gonna duplicate it, and I usually do something wild for the blink animation numbering. The index for the blink animation, I'm gonna do 999, just because it's far out. It's 9 frames. Typically I'll do like 4 to 6 frames for my idle animations. And blink animations are really easy to make too. You just pick the darkest flesh tone you can find, drop it, oops, drop it right on top of the eye. And depending on the type of eye you're looking at, you could even stretch it back slightly like that. Looks great. I want to place a little more emphasis on the shape of the top part of his eyeball. So what I'm gonna do is just lighten it up a little bit, slightly. Save it out, close it out, save the sprites. So that was 999. So I'm guessing there's only 3 frames that I created here. One, two, three, and that's fine. One, two, three. Okay. You know what I'm also missing though? I don't have a physics drop. So this is gonna get tricky here. I did 1 through 3. I did a blinking animation. So now I have to do my physics drop. My original breathing animation or my original movement animation was 1 through 3, which means I have to start at 4. I'm gonna make a duplicate. I'm gonna name that duplicate 444. I'm gonna edit it. I'm going to gotta do a physics drop here. So I'm gonna do the pants. I'm gonna copy paste. just the lower part of his cargo pants there, and I'm going to shift it up. It's not copying and pasting for some weird reason. Not sure what's going on here. My computer, my mouse, you probably can't see it. My mouse is invisible, but my mouse is showing my thinking symbol for some weird reason. I don't know what's going on. Is it trying to crash? I already saved it, so if it crashes, who cares? Okay, I'm gonna cut this video and make a part two, or rather a part three. Something's up here. Just give me a sec.